Are you ready to rumble? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know if I'm saying that before we went on. Anyways, hello and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. Sav, everyone, are you ready to rumble? Dun, dun, dun,
I'm ready, KOC. Let's go.
Let's go. Actually, I'm just going to jump right into it. Because you know what? There's no point talking about our week. Because this is the headline of the century.
That's true. Nothing is relevant.
This is all that matters. This is why you came. This is why you came. Taylor Swift is entering her single era. And Sav, we have the Swiftie in the house to just tell us all. I like read the headline. I'm like, she's gonna tell us this all. So how are you feeling?
I did scream. I'm very sad for her. What?
I just find it so funny, just the visual of you suddenly just read the headline. Just
I know. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was getting coffee at the Starbucks line with Michael. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh my God, Taylor and Joe broke up. And he was like, what? Like, she dates a lot of guys. And I was like, go to hell. I'm like, You're the problem. You're the reason she hides away. And I was like, she doesn't date a lot of guys. She dated him for 6 years. And so we got in a heated debate on it. But I low-key am here for it because I love when she's single. And I love, redemption for her almost, for her to sing. Which, honestly, it looked like they had a pretty good relationship. So maybe it'll just be sad songs, and I'm here for it. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I hate to be the most toxic of fans, but the music we're going to get... Oh,
bad blood times a million.
As much as art is beautiful, but especially the more pain the artist is in, usually the better it is. I hate to say it. So you're like, I don't want pain upon, my favorite singers, but it makes for great summer bangers. So I'm slightly here for it. And just it's been so long since we've seen a mature 30-year-old. We've never seen a mature 30-year-old Taylor Swift single. This we thought Kim Kardashian's single was a new era. Taylor Swift's single.
Yeah,
that's what we came for.
Wait, so I was reading your headline and I didn't know how do people know they broke up?
Great question. Shall I read the headline? So I went to the hard-hidden facts of ET television.
My gosh, they are trash.
It was the best I got. And do you want to read it or shall I read what the headlines?
No, I want to read it because it's a death for me. Okay.
Please do.
The reason Swifties believe Swift hinted at her breakup in the Eras tour set list in Arlington, Texas show on March 31st. Instead of performing Invisible String, which keep in mind, I quoted in my vows.
True. That's
just a side note, which is believed to be a love song about her relationship with Joe. But instead, Taylor Swift played The One, which details a breakup. You're telling me that's the only reason why people think they broke up?
No, I think that's why people knew it was coming. People had hints about it. So I think that was just the crazy Swifties having Easter eggs. So that's what they said. And then I don't actually know how anyone's confirmed it, but it just seems confirmed. Here, I'm going to... You talk about your feelings, vent a little, as I'm going to do some heavy-hitting research real fast.
Okay, you do the research. I'm here for it. I think if Taylor Swift can perform a 4-hour concert while dealing with a breakup and having to sing all of her love songs about her, we can do anything. I truly believe that. One of my friends was asking, I secretly think she had a relationship with Karlie Kloss, and I stand by that. And my friend was asking me about it, and I was like, let me send you some TikToks. That will be hard-hitting evidence that she dated Karlie Kloss. And maybe they'll get back together. Actually, I think she's married. So I don't think they will. I think she has a baby now, actually. But, who knows? Down the line, maybe they'll get back together because they seemed pretty cute.
Okay, so I'm more confused than I've ever been. So we're going to do some heavy-hitting research right now. We're going to mention the only people that are saying they're broken up are sketchy tabloids. So right now, It's saying... Wait, I lost it. First of all, first headline says, why did Taylor Swift break up. It said her tour set list hinted at their split. So the first idea was this. I think that's where it stemmed from. Now, people are also saying that just Taylor Swift and I've broken up after 6 years together. A source close to Taylor confirmed the news to CNN, saying Taylor Swift broke up a few weeks ago. So it's a source reported to CNN, and it's gone from there. And then all the other articles are just talking about, like, it's quite clickbaity because it's like Taylor Swift and Joe relationship timeline, like by US Weekly and Glamour. So it's not like actually, you know what I mean? It's something you click it, you think it's a breakup, but they're not actually saying it. But there's been no one's confirmed it, except for places like the Daily Mail and all that. And if you know the media, if we know anything, because we can't trust these headlines, so. It appears to be they did, and it appears to just be a source. I think it seems pretty confirmed, but it's not like Taylor or him have like released anything. But they're so private. Maybe she won't even release anything. She'll just be like, "I'll let my music do the talking."
I did see a TikTok video of, I think it was like Joe's great uncle or something, like passed away, and they were at a funeral. And I was like, "Why do you have footage of this? Whoever leaked this?" Very inappropriate. But they seemed really cute and smitten, and they were holding hands the entire time, and it was adorable. But I would also kind of expect that from a significant other at a funeral for support. Yeah, I don't know. I hope she is the one to release it, and maybe she'll release it like chatting at her concerts. I feel like she likes to talk to her fans that way. But regardless, I'm not going to be mad if she goes into a single girl era.
No, not mad. Actually, would it be kind of epic if she announces it on the tour? I feel like Taylor, because hear me out. If she's saying it at her concert, she's saying it to her Swifties. She's saying it to her people. These people care the most versus be like, hey, we'll give it to Fox News or Daily Mail and they take it and blow it up. It's like, no, I'm saying it to my fans and my fans can tell my fans. I kind of like that. I think I could see her doing something like that, or just like dropping a random new breakup song and be like, you know what this means, and we all put it together. That I mean,
she
iconic.
does hint if she's not performing Invisible String in the one. I mean, that is pretty obvious. It's about a breakup. She's like, how much louder can I be, you idiots?
And I will say that Taylor's fully aware that like her fans rip apart every detail, so she knows anything she changes, people are just gonna be like, oh, she randomly switched a song. They'll be like, this has meaning. And like that's why Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift, is the Easter eggs. You're just
a rhinestone out of place has a meaning. So you bet a song out of place is gonna stop the whole world.
I agree. So I love it. Oh, I love a good Easter egg. That's just the best.
Me too.
So who would you match Taylor Swift up with if you could pick? You gotta.
Ooh, who would I match her up with? I don't really like celebrities, like for boys, for her. There's no one that's worthy for her, in my professional opinion.
Well, no one's worthy, but
I know. I feel like he needs to be tall because she's a tall girly. They need to be okay with independent. I don't know. I don't know actors well enough. I love Tom Holland, but he is a shorty, so I'm gonna
short and young. And also, I don't want an actor for her. I don't want an actor. That's what I don't want for her. They've definitely not an actor.
Who do you want then, Kelty? Who would you want?
I hate to say it. The first thing that came to my mind was like, hey, who's on her level that I think's awesome? My mind instantly goes to DJs, and I was about to be like, Calvin Harris.
Didn't she date him?
Yeah, for a long time.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, okay, let's not take my opinion, because I was like, oh, but I won't lie. They at one time were a great match. So
that's true. Maybe one of the Vampire Diary guys.
I mean, that would be nice. A beautiful couple. Beautiful.
Yeah. I do think they might be too old too for her. I don't know. I would have said now it should be Taylor Lautner, but he seems happily married to his Taylor, and they seem very cute. So I have no idea. Back to the drawing board. You guys should comment on our Instagram or DM us. Let us know who you think she should be set up with.
I think she should be someone out of the spotlight. Businessman, as they say on the Morning Toast, businessman beau. I think she needs that. She needs like a sturdy guy that's on her level but doesn't need to, like, he doesn't want to take away any of her spotlight because she is the star. There's no clout chasing. Like, he doesn't need anything from her, but gets her level of pressure. And like, once it's like, you go be an artist, I will go build
Crunch
trees. I don't build trees. I know. It's like, I think, that's what, or something like that. Like a businessman that's like solving world hunger. She needs that. She needs a billionaire that's solving world hunger. That's what she deserves. There we go. That's what she deserves.
Who does that narrow that down to?
Jeff Bezos. That's Bill Gates.
God, no.
Bill Gates.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? She
definitely no.
I don't think anybody. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and I'm pretty sure Jeff Bezos is building super yachts, not solving world hunger, so I should not have said that.
Yeah. This we'll table this conversation for another time when we have determined someone is worthy. I told you, Carly Kloss, but I think honestly that ship has sailed. So
that's someone on her level. That's a good combo. I like that.
Right? They seemed cute. I believe they dated 100%.
I don't know enough, but I ship it.
You ship it. Mm-hmm.
I do. Stunning. I love them both. Carly Kloss.
All right, what's our
What's
our next headline?
So next one is for our golf girlies. So it was the Masters this weekend. It was Easter. Happy belated Easter. Mini eggs for all. John Hamm won the Masters. Now, a lot of you are like, hey, Kelty, did I suddenly turn on my boyfriend's podcast? Don't worry. We're not. But I am just curious because I grew up with a father whose only dream was for me to play in the LPGA, and I did not care for it. And that was all he cared. And then at one point he had to accept it wasn't going to happen. And even then, I still don't care about golf. Even though I grew up playing, I have a decent swing, and I still didn't care until I watched Full Swing. And I guess I cared a little because sometimes I'm like, but now I suddenly enjoy it even more. And I was just curious. I'd love to hear from the girlies. I know after Drive to Survive happened, I know myself, suddenly I was like, wow, I love F1. It's my favorite sport. And then so I was wondering and I kind of noticed I liked watching golf a lot more this year after watching Full Swing on Netflix. So I'm just curious if other girls are suddenly more interested in this Masters. And also, I'm just going to plant this idea. Last summer, me and my girlfriend started getting into golf a lot more. Like suddenly it was a group thing. It's like on weekends, let's go golfing, have some drinks. Also, golf outfits are the cutest. It's pretty much a tennis skort. You get a little cute hat. Like if you want to talk about like a fun, active activity you can do with your friends, drink if you want, not if you want, cute outfits. I think we should all have a golf girl summer. So that's kind of where my thought was going with that headline. What do you think?
I like that. Well, I am one of the girls that is bored by golf.
Fair.
I never watched either of those shows, but a lot of my friends rave about them. So I believe you. I think Michael watched Full Swing when I was like having a girls' night or something, or I think he watched it, but I didn't. So I don't know. I don't have a lot to take on it. I never grew up playing. My family did not have money to do that, / really hard to do that in Seattle because it's always rainy. So you didn't see a lot of golf courses around. But I am now. We have membership to a golf course, and Michael golfs a lot. And so I'll go here and there, and I agree with the drinking. I agree with the golf cart driving, and I like swings. And then, is that even the proper term? I swing
It works.
Oh, I don't even know. This is how much I don't know. But I'll, basically put it around, and, I like driving it. That's what I do. I drive it.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. And I love the outfits. I am here for the outfit. But other than that, I could care less about golf. So
it doesn't matter.
I bet I've heard great things, and all of my friends here rave about golf. But I don't know. So what are your thoughts on this?
I guess I'll read. I have an idea. I'm going to throw this out there to my girlies who are kind of like right now. You might be like, I want to wear the outfits. I want to go golfing. Maybe you want to pick up tennis this summer. Maybe a little paddle. You know what I mean? You're like, I want to do this, but I feel overwhelmed. DM us. If we get enough DMs, we will do a quick crash course in an upcoming episode of being like, hey, 5-minute in the middle of an episode, crash course, golfing, tennis, whatever sport you want to pick. And I'll run through I'll teach you the quick, like you said, you were like, I swing. I was like, okay, well, there's a few things. And we'll do how to not feel stupid while golfing this summer. And so you come in and we could just do a little like how-to guide in the middle of like some of those activities, because I think those activities are becoming more popular. And at least I have enough of a baseline that I'm like, okay, here's what you got to do. Here's what you say to the guy you're dating on the first time. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, personally, I think, you know what I mean? Just impress them a little bit. We'll give you some of those insider knowledge. And if no one, you're like, I couldn't care less. I didn't watch Full Swing. F1 bores me. I'm not going to pick up tennis. Then we ignore it. But it could be a fun little segment.
I love it. Perfect.
Just
you know, I will say it is a fun sport. I think maybe where people don't love it, like me, is I'm really, really competitive with myself. And so then I'll be hard on myself. And all of my friends, and Michael always says, everybody sucks at golf. That's always what they say, right? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't like sucking at things. So I think I get angry with myself. It's like I enjoy the environment. But then part of me, I'm like, I can't even keep up. And I go with guys because I have a lot of guy friends here. Not a lot of my girlfriends do it. So maybe I just need a better group. That's okay with like taking 10 swings.
Here's a little tip of how to warm up to it until you get, because like you said, everyone sucks. But you just have to get over the initial, like, suck enough to still play sucking. Because when you first start, you suck so much you can't even play. Like, you're just like, I don't even hit it. First of all, driving range. You got to go to the driving range a few times. And then, after you're like, hey, I can semi-hit it, go with just one person. Not a group. One person that's really good. Boyfriend, husband, brother, girlfriend, whoever it is. Try and pick the last tee of the night. Because the worst part about golfing is just wait the people behind you. And you're just like, and they can pass, but you just don't want to be that person. But if you're the last, you can screw up as many times. It's just you and them. It's not 3 or 4 of you trying to get through. And it allows you to suck and take as long as you need to. And if you give up after 3 holes, you give up. But just do that a couple times. And then usually you can, it's just repetition after that. And then you can go at the normal times. But there's my little 2 steps to being sucky enough to suck.
Love it. All right. Perfect.
On to someone who doesn't suck. Headline number 2, Sophie Turner, who we love. Game of Thrones.
Love.
Just
Jonas brother, wifey.
I would debate them as being potentially one of the coolest couples in Hollywood. You could debate a couple, but definitely top 3 of just being like, I would love to sit and have dinner with them. I would third wheel that
definitely.
Couple. 100%. So, headline, Sophie Turner calls out Ozempic weight loss ads. More specifically, the Game of Thrones alum recently criticized Ozempic, the FDA-approved brand for medical injectable of semaglutide, has since become popular for helping people quickly shed weight. In a now-expired Instagram story, the actress reported on April 22nd tweet from writer Sophie Versbo that read, the Ozempic ad plastered across the Times Square subway can F-U-C-K all the way off, just in case little children are watching in the background. So, I don't know if you've seen this. I think I saw it about a week ago. So, apparently there's massive ads all over New York Times, like Times Square subway, like with ads for Ozempic.
That is wild. I had no idea. Have not been to New York in a hot minute. / I haven't seen this. So, that's crazy and actually really, really sad that that's getting plastered where just general population is in general. Like, did that even make sense? Wow.
Yeah, no.
But
it made sense.
It's just like, you're telling me that's what you choose to promote? That's what you're putting for all ages to see on a subway? Like Ozempic? So I definitely think it's fair, her reaction. Like, I don't agree with them putting this, like, mainstreaming it so much.
Yeah. It's just like one of those things, if you are a diabetic, if you have, like, if you're struggling with obesity, and it has been a great thing, like, that's what it's designed for. And it's a great thing for those people because they're fully aware. They'll probably have to take it for the rest of their life, but, you know, they have another health issue that it's like lesser of 2 evils. So they're willing to take it the rest of their life. But suddenly you market it, people are just like, oh, this is a little option. I have a vacay. I want to lose 20 pounds. Like, it's just, I've always found it so insane. Like, in Canada, we're not allowed to, like, I don't know how it works. But anyways, regardless, US, the amount of prescription ads you have is insane compared to, like, everywhere else in the world. But without getting into that whole complicated topic, It's so bad. And then like the people who actually need it can't get it. And then it just makes it seem so much more like casual. Like grab your Starbucks on the way home, and while you're there, get an Ozempic. Like, I'm like, how are we normalizing this?
Yeah. I was just going to say it's now mainstream, normalized. And I just think, I don't know how this boom got started, really. Like, I don't know how it's just gotten worse and worse and more like glorified in a sense. Because honestly, at the end of the day, maybe this is a hot take, maybe it's not. At the end of the day, you literally need to just like take care of yourself, exercise, eat properly, get your sleep, work on your mindset. Like, yes, you can do this quick weight loss situation if you want, but who knows, maybe you'll gain it all back once you're off of it. Or there'll be, you know, like 20 years down the line, there'll be some repercussion that you're like, wow, I wish I didn't do this when I was younger. Where if you just like put in the work, get off your ASS and do the work, as Kim Kardashian would say, like, you'll see change and it'll stick for longer. And it's just like, you cannot cut things, and you cannot cut, I don't know how to word it, like, there's no shortcuts. 100%. There we go.
Yep.
When it comes to like your health and your fitness and weight loss, like, you have to put in the work. And it's even, you read about people that do liposuction, or you read about like they still gain it back if they don't change their habits at the end of the day, right? And that's like a sad truth, not for everybody, but like you literally have to change an entire lifestyle. And I hate that they're promoting this like fast. I mean, we're into fast fashion now. We're into like the cheapest makeup. We're into like whatever, like constantly our eyes are being diverted somewhere. Like, even think of TikTok, think of Instagram, YouTube. Like, it's just getting worse and worse. And who knows, maybe this is like people's solution now at the moment is like, I'll do Ozempic, and they don't want to put in the effort to do the workouts. It's like a girl that has a bubble butt and like sells weight loss programs or like booty blasting programs, you know. I like, one of my friends literally sent me bought this girl's program, sent me the girl's profile, and I was like, this is not real. This is a BBL. Like, there is no way this is real. And she literally bought her like booty program, and it was a complete scam. Like, I just was like, oh my gosh. That's my rant.
It says it all. Like, anytime you take a shortcut, it's robbing from the future. And like, who it was meant for, and this is why I'm not against drugs like this necessarily, is like people who have obesity, who have diabetes. It's not as easy as like just make a lifestyle change, because like their hormones are so out of whack that like they actually need, because they have hormones out of whack, like they're actually, and that's why obesity is so complicated. Now the average person needs to lose 20-30 pounds. Okay, you use it, you're gonna gain it right back. And it's just, and like you said, we're gonna talk about in a second, the Ozempic rebound that they have research about, and you're just robbing it. And it's not sexy, but you know, I was even talking today to some people in the office. They're like, I'm always hungry. I'm like, how much protein do you eat? And they're like, oh, like, you don't have an egg? I'm like, you need more than an egg. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like, just versus take Ozempic and then it's a solution for a couple of weeks and gain it all back. Like you said, and now research is coming out, and it's just robbing and normalizing that this is the first time, and it's really bizarre to me. Remember in the 90s and early 2000s, we heard all those like bogus fat burning pills and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think ephedrine was crazy in the 80s and 90s till it got banned. And like, and we look back now at those times and we're like, how was anyone crazy enough to take those fat burning pills? I'm like, do we not see what's going on? It's the exact same thing in a new package. Like, do we not see that this is the crazy thing we were talking about back then that we now laugh at? I'm like, when did we get so dumb? Like, I thought we were smarter than this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, up till a couple of years ago. Progress
with information that we now have on everything.
I think that's the craziest thing about Ozempic. It's like the consumer is smarter now. Most people know, like, we need sustainable habits. We need to eat healthy. We need to move more. We need to have a balanced diet. We need to sleep, hydrate. We all know that kind of stuff. We know work on your mental health. It makes it easier to work on your physical health. And we all know not to take quick fix. Somehow Ozempic beat all that. Like, how did that happen? Like, it's absurd. And I think it's ads like this being like, oh, it's just a easy way to lose weight. Like, this is the good one. This is the miracle one. Like, we've heard this before. We're smarter than this.
But I can also like sympathize with those that, you know, maybe they've like fallen off 100 times and they've gotten, you know, bought all these workout programs, and like I truly believe this from the bottom of my heart, when people like don't, like me when I first started, I did not stick with programs, so I was in this hamster wheel of like, I'd look in the mirror, I'd be upset, I'd like buy a workout program, or I'd be like, I'm gonna go and do 2-a-days and I'm gonna be on this crazy diet, and it was so unsustainable, and so I'd give up after like a day or two, and then I would feel really bad about it, so then I would ignore it completely until a month came around and I felt the same way again. And like, I can understand them being like, maybe this will work, like they're desperate to find something, but I really do think the problem with, you know, the cycle of like going back into extremes and things like that is it stems from your mindset on the situation, and like you not having the discipline, or wanting the consistency, or to even look at the education on like what you need to do. I know that was for me, and once I fixed my mind, that's when I actually started to see the change and being like, there's something off. It's not the workouts, it's not the diet, it's the way you're viewing it, and it's harming you. And so I had to change that mindset. And I think that's where it's the most uncomfortable thing to do.
I like that. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, someone comes up to you and is in that exact same situation, like, I'm about to take Ozempic, I've tried everything. We're not talking someone who has severe health issues or anything. We're just talking like the average people who are saying need lifestyle change, but they've tried everything and they're stuck in that hamster wheel. What would you tell them to do instead of taking Ozempic?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, kind of like, I just said it. Like, I think you'd have to, whenever I train my girls, I actually have a really in-depth, intense training on mindset and how to like properly set your goals. Like, we work on who you were and who you want to become, because like I truly believe it stems from that. And I don't mean it in like a hippy dippy way. I mean it like, you're capable of doing anything you want, but if your mind is not going to back you up, then you're just going to fail 100 times over and over. So I would tell them that like, there's something you need to change about your mindset. Let's start there. And then let's build out a sustainable program, and let's baby step it so you can like have the results, and they'll actually stick with you. They'll stick with you for years, because you're not trying to like do extremes. Like, of course we want the shortcut. Of course we want to all of a sudden look skinny or whatever it is. But like, that's just not how it works, unfortunately. What would you say?
I like that. With 3 options would be mine. First, seek medical professional, whether it be a therapist or a personal trainer who's going to help you. Because you're like, I'm overwhelmed. They will simplify it. They'll give you a program. They will help you maybe get the mindset you need to change. That's why you see a therapist. And usually if you mentally are in a good place, like you said, option 2, there's professionals out there who can find exactly how you need to train and work out, and they can keep you accountable. So that's an option 1, not maintainable for every single person, obviously financially. Option 2, which has worked the best for me and why I tend to not yo-yo, aside from, you know, holidays, I drink a lot more eggnog, is reframe your mind. And it's kind of what you're going off of, is like, instead of like constantly be like, hey, this week I'm going to give up this, and next week I'm only going to do eat this specific thing, or no more city, whatever. Instead of like take it away, I'm like, just be like, my goal for this week is to try and find a fun way to move. Like we mentioned golf, and I was like, if you genuinely find something that's like an enjoyable way to move, this week I'm going to try spin for the first time, next week I'm going to do weightlifting, a weekend after yoga, and like you're like, oh, this is actually fun, like I look forward to it. And you find a way to crave movement, which seems crazy, but it's biological in us. You just got to find the one that works for you. It's no longer hard. You're less yo-yoing. You'll show up all the time. It'll become a habit. Same with food. Instead of viewing food as like, I can't eat this. I'm like, fall in love with food. Like, go look up at some Mediterranean, Italian recipes that are like nutrient dense and beautiful, and make the meal, plate it, make it this beautiful thing that you're like looking forward to, and you don't feel like you're depriving yourself, and like nourishing. And it's, I know it sounds crazy, when you look at food as this beautiful thing, not this enemy thing, I find you're a lot more appreciative, and really, like you said, you reframe it for gratitude. Like, you're like, oh, I worked on this. I made this beautiful meal. Like, I always think it's a little harder to overeat, feel bad about this beautiful meal you meet with your family, and you know what I mean, versus just like something you randomly picked up. So that would be reframe. And the third, I'm going to be honest, I forgot, but I'm just going to say, make sure you're sleeping and drinking enough water. So that'd be third.
Okay.
I had something else, but I forgot what it was. But I was like, everyone needs to work on their sleep and hydration. So I'll say that.
I love it. That's perfect.
Yeah. So actually, we might as well I'm just going to quickly keep ranting about, I did see in newspaper I won't say newspaper, but it's actually Toronto Star. Now it's come out with what is the Ozempic rebound. So they have now at least enough studies. And so I'm going to get the exact number. But in the 2022, that was, how many twos can I say? Study in the Journal of Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolism followed 327 people after quitting semaglutide injections. So Ozempic is the brand, semaglutide is the actual medication you're taking. On average, 2 out of 3 on average, people gain 2/3 of the weight after. If it lowered their blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol values, if it did that, they all returned back to where they were before. And so it's really showing the reality of this is it's a long-term approach. If you're taking this, you take this for life. And it's not like something you take for a long term. You're like, oh, I'm good. I lost. It seems to be, it all comes back. And then it's also showing a bit more of the quick side effects you're kind of going to get from it is nausea, bloating, vomiting, excess gas, heartburn, even yellow skin. Like that's going to happen right when you start taking that. So have fun getting skinny for the summer. You're going to be bloated, vomiting, heartburn, not going to feel too sexy in a bikini doing that. And then also there is showing some long-term effects like thyroid cancer, pancreatic issues. In Stanford medicine actually show boys were more likely to be born with genital birth defects if their fathers took prescribed diabetes drug. It's metformin. It's a different one. But I'm saying this stuff's starting to happen that it's like, oh yeah, this is great. And that's one of those sad things when you have diabetes, obesity, you have to pick your poison. So they're picking, they're like, I realize there could be some issues, but also diabetes is an issue, fertility, like, or you know what I mean? So they're like, kind of pick it, but don't put yourself into that when you don't have to. So it's just showing that you'll take it, you'll gain it all back. We don't know if you look skinny for a little bit, but you spent half it nauseous and bloated, and so you don't even want to go outside. Like, I won't lie, I have some friends or people I know who have tried it, and when they're on it, they're miserable. So they're not out looking hot. They're like, oh, I can't. It's like they have the worst hangover of their entire life the whole time. So it's not like you're like, ooh, look how nice I'm looking on the beach. What's going to happen is you're going to feel like crap. Maybe you have a week of feeling good, and then you regain it all back, and you risk some long-term health effects. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Let's stop glamorizing because, the certain people are looking snatched lately. I was like, I don't think that's all they're doing. Maybe they did it for a little bit, but yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah. Well, thank you for that insightful information. I didn't realize how expensive it was as well. It's what, $400 a month, $300 a month? Yeah, so without insurance, so that's the thing. If you need it for health, you have insurance. Not everyone has insurance, but yeah, it's going to cost like $300 to $400 a month. That's a grocery bill. Just save that money and buy some higher quality foods that keeps you fuller and gives you more energy instead of something that makes you feel bloated and nauseous.
Or even, a trainer, or, put it towards your health in a way. A gym. I know gym memberships can be really expensive, especially in New York or California. And that's that's like the opposite. Sorry, I interrupted, but I was like, this would be robbing you of your future. Investing in things like that is like investing in the long term. It's like, think of your future self. Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, with that being said, I thought we could jump into a lovely confession session. How does that sound?
Hit me hard.
Okay. Perfect. Let me
hit me, baby,
pull her
one more
on
time.
Up.
I'll do some elevator music.
I just had her. Yeah.
Are you ready for this? Well, so, on this week's episode of Confession Session.
I just had it. Okay, here we go. Here's one. Ooh. And it's a short, sweet one. And then we have a question. So, our confession session was, One time I was so drunk, my friend posted on her Snapchat story a raccoon, and I kept sending her messages saying how cute her rabbit was. And I love that. And Bentley looks like a raccoon, and so it made me giggle. And she must have just been really, really drunk, because I don't know how you mistake that for a rabbit, but that's amazing.
But you know what? I like it. You know what? It's appropriate for Easter. What an appropriate Easter confession session. Well done.
Exactly.
Okay, now for...
She did, yeah. Now for our question. And she said debate time. Wipe down the equipment before or after you use it. I saw someone do it before they used it, and it rocked my world, because you really don't know if the person before you wiped it down, common at my gym at least. So with that logic, you're using a dirty equipment and then it's clean after you use it. So AKA kind of pointless for your benefit, but nice for everybody else's. Yeah. So what do you think? Miss wears gym shoes to solely the gym.
So mine is, first of all, it's going to depend. If I'm at like a Equinox, I'm not wiping anything down. Like they're coming every 5, you stand up and they're wiping that thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's some gyms who are like cleaning that all the time. So I'm going to wipe it after always. That's just like the courtesy thing to do. Unless you see them coming around, I won't lie. If I see the cleaners that they come in and wipe it, I'm like, I'm not right now. Yeah. But I will probably, I would have to see someone so sweaty go on right before me and the sweat's there, and then I would wipe it before. And I get the premise, but for me, those wipes give me such a bad rash that I'd prefer to sit on someone's sweat than sit on like the disinfectant stuff, because you'd have to wait for it to dry. You know what I mean? So like that stuff gives me like awful blisters. So, but for me, I always shower after the gym for that very reason. Like I kind of go into the gym knowing, I'm gonna touching somebody's germs. Like there's no way around it. So that's why I just shower after the gym and leave feeling clean. And I try not to touch my face with my hands while I'm in there. And I accept the dirtiness that is the gym. What about you?
I would say the same. I was just going to say, I go into the gym knowing it's dirty, knowing it's communal use, and it doesn't really bug me. I do not ever touch my face, because that's just a gateway to you getting sick from the gym. But I immediately wash my hands. When I get home, that's the first thing I do. Like I will not touch my clothes. I won't touch my bed. Like today, I got back from the gym and like I needed to make my bed, and I was like, I need to immediately wash my hands. But I kind of do that even if I go to the grocery store. Like I just always wash my hands. Maybe COVID did that for me. But yeah, I will wipe it down if it's super gross. Like you said, someone's super sweaty. But other than that, no. Like I'll wipe it down if I made it really sweaty. Yeah. But no, I don't even think my gym really has wipes. It's like a small gym. So I feel like I never see it. And there are workers that are constantly wiping things down and vacuuming, towels, everything.
Exactly. So that's also, it really depends on the gym. Like some, there's such a turnover, and if, like you said, the person in front of you is like coughing up a lung, I'm like, okay, I might. But like you said, those rags give me such bad blisters. So I like, even when I do have them, I just touch it with my nails, and I do it in such a funny way. Probably looks like I'm being so like prim and proper trying, but I'm like, no, I just don't want this to touch my skin, because I'll go wash my hands. I just, the hand sanitizer and the disinfectants. Yeah. Just, if you ever see blisters on my hands, just know Kelty was really cleaning the gym equipment this week.
There you go. The airport, that's a story for another day, because I think that is disgusting. But that's one thing I'm like, I am so grossed out by airplanes.
I have stories. So actually, we have a couple travel podcasts planned for the summer, because we know that's tend to be when people travel. We have some tips. So if you got any questions about it, what you guys would want, and hit us up on Hitting the Bar's Instagram. We'd be happy to answer those, because traveling and staying healthy, not even just like healthy, like fitness wellness girl, but just like pure let's not get germs. That's a beast in itself.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, should we wrap it up? You had a couple questions you wanted to ask them?
I did. So this weekend, if you didn't know, is Coachella. Next weekend 2 Coachella. As someone who is experienced my fair share of music festivals, specifically Coachella. We thought it'd be fun next week's episode. We're going to talk all about Coachella, the good, the bad, and I have horror stories. Coachella is one of my favorite things, and it's also an absolute battle. So we're going to talk about that, and not just that, the influencer side. So we're going to talk about just influencer events, what it's really like behind the scenes when you see all these beautiful pictures at Coachella and it's luxurious and it's amazing and everyone hates each other and is cold and cranky behind the scenes. So we're going to talk all that. So if you have any questions about Coachella or influencer events similar to Coachella, like that, hit us up on Instagram, send us a DM on Hitting the Bars, and we're going to talk all the good, the bad, and the many of ugly, because no one talks about the wind and sand at Coachella, and no one can breathe, and you lose your voice every year. And we're going to talk all about it.
Love it. Perfect. Yeah. Well, with that being said, don't forget to leave a review. Feel free to subscribe if you have not. And yeah, come hit us with a DM. Say hi.
Say hi and goodbye. Have a great day, everyone.